What is up? Welcome back to the channel. We're out in the shop today. I don't know what that was. I was excitement, I guess. Out in the shop today. We got that weight plate put on the Civic, which you probably saw in the last video. But we're coming off this again. We have, I won't say an event, we have some stuff coming up that we're trying to get some testing in on the boost knuckle. And I'm just trying to go racing. So the last couple days I've been working on the boost knuckle, and I'll show you what I got going on. The boost knuckle's up in the air. I don't know if most people probably don't notice, because if you don't, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram or not. If you don't, check out right here. This will be a link to our Instagram. But put a front bumper on the truck. The truck has never had a front bumper on it. Obviously, the rust doesn't match the rest of the truck. But once it's 100% on there, I'll sand everything and oil it down so it matches the truck. I kind of like it not matching personally, but whatever. But picked that up from a guy up north, and then I got the truck's never had like windshield trim on it, so I picked up some factory windshield trim, and even on the inside of the truck around the windshield itself, we picked up some of this trim, like right here. The truck never had any windshield trim around the inside of it, and it always just kind of looked incomplete, but now it's got it. So that was just more aesthetic than anything. I just felt better about putting it on there. But the truck looks a lot better with a front bumper on it now, I think. And it just looks super G on 20-inch dubs. And then we picked up a hood, a spare hood. And we picked up a spare hood so I could make a velocity stack or an inlet for the turbo. Every time I've had it out to the track, I normally take the hood off of it at some point, because I feel like, where the hood sits in relation with the turbo, the turbo just doesn't get all the air it should. So I end up taking the hood off of it, which it looks really cool with the hood off of it as well. But obviously I don't always have to take the hood off. So I bought this hood along with the bumper and that trim stuff to make an inlet for the turbo. I already started doing that stuff. I'll probably end up, once we're done with this video, I'll have you'll see what it looks like on the truck. I initially cut too much out, so then I had to end up stitching some metal back in here. I started to grind it all down, and then it started cracking through, so I had to put more tacks on it. And I may just leave it like that, and just once I scuff all this to make it blend with this color rust, then maybe I'll just let it sit outside, let it rust, let it do its thing, and then I'll do it all, so then it'll just kind of blend in and look all ratty like the rest of the truck. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. Also, the truck the truck is up in the air, and that's for good reason. We got something in the mail the other day from a buddy of mine at Circle D Converters. So we were going to try out a new converter in the truck, because the last time we had it out, and I don't know, yeah, I made a video. The truck ended up going 590s in the 8th, but the converter was, I don't know anything about converters. First of all, I was under the assumption the converter was too loose, and my converter guy informed me that it was too tight and I was blowing through it, which is why I had like almost 30% converter slip. So we're going to put a new torque converter in this thing in hopes to hopefully get a little bit more stall speed out of it, because before, the most you could normally do was like 2,500 RPM on the two-step. The truck does not have a trans brake in it. It is a stock turbo 400. But with a converter and a two-step, the most I could get it to stall was like 2,500 originally. But then I did some stuff with the fluid and kind of did like a 50-50 mix of ATF and hydraulic fluid, and ended up getting it to where it would stall right about 3,200-ish. And that actually was the last pass, and it went 591. I don't know if it was stalling or able to stall that high, because that day we made 5 or 6 passes on the truck, and I don't know if the converter and the fluid just started getting so hot that it was just letting me slip it more. But before that day, the highest I could go with it was 2,800. So the truck doesn't build any boost at 2,800 RPM. I haven't played with any of the boost strategies or pulling timing out of it to get it to make boost. So this new converter has got, I believe he told me, a 3,600 stall, and it should flash somewhere around like 38 to 4,200. So on the foot brake, if we can get it to stall to like 36, 3,700, hopefully we can get like a 130, high 130, 60 foot, because the truck went a 144, 144 or 148, I can't remember. But hopefully with this, stalling a little higher, and the fact that we set it up for the power with the 6.2 and the 88, the weight of the truck and everything was spec'd for this truck, hopefully now it'll gradually get tighter as it goes down the track, as we throw more power at it. That way we don't blow through it. But anyways, I'm gonna get underneath this thing and I'm gonna start taking the transmission out of it, and let's see if we can get this thing going. Before I get started underneath the truck, I figured I should probably open up this box and show you what I got from Circle D, other than just a converter. My buddy Dan over there, hashtag DanSpec, hooked me up with some merch. Let's see if I can set this camera up. All right, we got some Circle D merch, really nice shirt, and it's blue, and blue's my favorite color. I do like how they like nicely package their stickers. He gave me a few different style stickers and stuff like that. So I can't wait to put some of that stuff on the truck. I may end up putting some of that on in the engine bay. Who knows? And then some smaller stickers inside here. I mean, nice little envelope. They put your receipt in and all that. And then, like I said, they gave me some smaller stickers. Super cool. I mean, the dude even gave me an ink pen. I mean, how do you beat that? Ba-chow! And a koozie. And I'm super pumped about this koozie because I drink these aminos, and it's like, I have a koozie addiction, and I only have like 2 koozies that this fits, or that fit this. And now I have 3, and this is awesome. I'm so pumped about this koozie. I mean, that was worth what I paid for the converter, in all honesty, but whatever. Comes with hardware, Loctite, etc. And then, bam, the bee's knees. That's the milk and cookies. Yeah, man, I can't wait to try this thing out. Like I said, I don't know anything about converters. It's kind of witchcraft to me, but my buddy Dan over there seemed to think he had the ticket to get this thing to hopefully run a like 570s, 560s if we throw the power at it. But I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, excuse me. I'm gonna get underneath this thing, start ripping this tranny out, because I want to get this converter in here. All right, so I've been laying underneath the truck, getting everything unbolted. And by everything, I mean like the drive shaft, torque converter. I left the tranny cooler lines hooked up to it because I'm hoping that I can just let the train, or pull the tranny back, let it down just a little bit, pop the converter out of it. I'll fill up the new converter with trans fluid. I should probably put a new front seal in it. Part of me thinks maybe the front seal's leaking a little. Once I get the tranny back, get the converter out of it, or once I get the tranny back far enough, I'll try and get a light down there and see if it is leaking. But I'll try and get this thing out, and then I'm probably going to call it a night, and then I'll start back on it fresh tomorrow morning, and hopefully get it back in the truck tomorrow, and then that'll be done. I would say we go test it, but there's snow on the ground and ice. This is a bad idea. All right, so got the tranny pulled out, got the old converter, the new converter. New converter's full of fluid, or it's got fluid in it now. I was trying to decide if I was going to go ahead and have the transmission rebuilt. before we take the truck out again. And one, I don't think I have the time for it. And two, I sure as hell don't have the money for it. So I guess I'm just gonna take my chance on this stock Turbo 400. Throw this converter in it, and we'll just see what happens. The truck does need a scatter shield put on it, just for good measure and to be safe. So I'm probably gonna need to pick one of those up. Those are a couple $100, so I'm gonna need to put one of those on it, and then I probably need to get a diaper for the engine too, just to be safe. Stock bottom end stuff and then a stock tranny kind of just screams I want to tear stuff up. But anyways, it is early in the morning now, and I just got out to the garage, so I'm gonna get started on putting that converter back in the transmission and get it all buttoned back up. We'll start it up. It's starting to melt, so I'm hoping I can maybe get the truck outside. It's probably not gonna happen. There's a lot of ice here. Like, this is all ice. That's all ice. But I was hoping maybe I could get it outside on level ground, which, I mean, it's level in here too, but I don't want to smoke the garage out. But maybe get it out on level ground, start it up, heat cycle it, and hopefully I don't have to run and get any fluid, because I'm stuck at home. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm stuck at home for the Rona. So anyways, I guess I'll crawl underneath this truck and we'll get this training button back up. Alright, so I'm down here and I'm trying to set up the spacing on the torque converter, and I'll see. Let me turn my light on so you can see this a little better. Oh, wrong button. All right, so here, this isn't going to be very easy. So right there you have the gap between the torque converter and the flex plate. Ideally, you only want to have to pull the converter out of the pump 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch. Well, I've measured this, and this is actually a 1/4 of an inch gap. So obviously 1/2 of a quarter is 1/8 inch. So I need to get at least 1/8 inch to 3/16 of an inch worth of spacers or washers to put in between the converter and the flex plate to have the right amount of pull out of the pump. That way we don't knock the thrust out of this thing. But I've got, I think, the spacers for it, so I'm gonna go up here on my bench and get them out, and then we'll try and get them slid in here and then start getting this thing bolted together. So here is my stack of washers here. Circle D sent them with these, and these are actually about 80 thousandths thick. That's not going to be enough. And these are the washers I had on it before, and these are about 56 thousandths. So that's going to put us just over 1/8 of an inch, and well, basically right between 1/8 of an inch and 3/16 of an inch. Maybe. What's this say? Well, that's 135. So it should just put us right over. Well, those are not the same thickness, so that's not going to work. Yeah, those are entirely different, so we're going to have to go back to the drawing board on that one. Well, darn. If you actually look at these washers, they're kind of shaped weird. They're rolled over on this side and flat on this side. That one's 81. That one's 95. Well, those are inconsistent as hell. 100 thousandths, 101 thousandths. And then these 57. I think these are way closer. 56, 55, 56, just depending on where you measure it at. Yeah, I mean, those are within a couple thousandths. Yeah, within a thousand, thou or two, which that won't make or break anything. But these being, you know, $20,000ths difference from one another, that I'm not okay with. So I'm gonna have to figure out something there. All right, so I found some little spacers I had from when I was doing motor mounts on my brother's car. I bought these at the hardware store, and all these seem to be within a thou of each other, and they're actually just a hair over by a couple thou over 1/8 of an inch. So the only downfall is the centers of them are too small for these bolts. So I gotta drill them out. So I'm gonna put them in the vise and try and drill these out. Just like that. So now I've got my 127 thousandths. Oh, that one. Now I put a little heat in them. There we go. So now might have boogered them up a little bit. But I'll take them to a little sandpaper like that, and we'll be good to go. We got, let's find out where my battery is. Excuse me. Got oh goodness gracious. Tighten those up and clean those up a little bit. Got training and everything in it. Just finished putting the dipstick tube in it, which is a huge pain in the butt. Torque converter bolts, cross member, drive shaft, everything's in it. Starter's bolted back in it. Now all I gotta do is start this thing up and let it run for a little bit, and we'll check the fluid level on this thing, and then maybe we'll back it outside here in a second after we make sure the level's good, and see what this thing stalls like. Well, yet again, the GoPro 5, I think is what this is. I'm trying to look at it. Yet again, we have about half of this video that the audio was completely trash on. And I still, at this point, don't know what's causing it, and it is killing my videos. I don't know what to do. I can't afford to buy another camera. I guess I've got another GoPro 5 that I use and a gimbal, which I haven't even used the gimbal in any videos that you all have seen. I guess I may need to swap to that camera and try again, but I'd say the last probably half dozen videos I've attempted to do, some point in the video, some clip, the audio has been messed up and it just sucks. But anyways, we did get the converter switched out in the truck. Pulled it out in the driveway. it would foot brake up to 2,800 on the two-step, which is good. Because I said in the video that I think I was able to get it up to 28, but I don't think I was ever able to get it up on 2,800 in the driveway. I actually had the 20-inch wheels on it, trying to do it, trying to see if it would stall a little bit because they're a little heavier than the drag wheels. But it did get up to 2,800 on the two-step in the driveway, which is about 300 RPM better than it's ever done in the driveway. So, and it's cold. With that being said, I'm super hopeful that we will be able to get at least 3,500 on the two-step on the track where it's hot and sticky, and these tires will bite and not push the truck through the beams. But fingers crossed. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Actually, kind of a really crappy video. So if you don't watch it all the way through, I don't blame you. It's kind of terrible. But it doesn't help that all the cool stuff where I was out in the driveway trying to get on the two-step, doing burnout in the driveway and all that stuff, the audio was cracked. The audio was trash, and it just ended up being crap. So it is what it is. Anyways, till next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep following along. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.